The joy of Christmas surprises, one short at supper. Our cat had given birth to 4 kittens 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and by Christmas they had become the center of our house. Wherever the children went, the kittens scampered close behind. The kids tripped over tiny bundles of fur in the kitchen, laughed when one chased after the broom, and insisted on making them little beds out of old towels. Even Mama Cat seemed happy enough with the arrangement, curling by the warm air vent while the little ones piled against her side. 2 days before Christmas, we spent the afternoon in town, crossing off the last things we needed for the holiday. The car was loaded with groceries, wrapping paper, and one last present we had promised the kids. By the time we had gotten home, the sun had slipped low, and everyone tumbled through the door eagerly to kick off boots and relax. Mama Cat and her kittens were stretched by the vent, the warm air puffing against their fur. It looked like the perfect picture of contentment. I scooped out Mama's dinner and called her over, and the kittens followed in their wibbly-wobbly ways. All but one. I counted again. 3 tails, not 4. "Where's the other kitten?" I asked quickly, looking from face to face. "Not in my room," Thea said at once. Sure should be blamed. "I didn't touch them," Dwayne added, holding up his hands, but Holly frowned. "He was with me this morning." The house suddenly felt too big and too quiet. Could that little one have slipped out when we carried in the bags? My heart lurched at the thought of the tiny kitten lost in the snow. "All right," I said, trying to calm myself. "Everybody start looking. Check high and check low, searching every corner." The kids shot off like fireworks. Dwayne dove under the beds, bumping his head with a thump that made him yelp. Thea went straight for the laundry basket, tossing socks and towels all over her shoulder. Holly checked the bath mat where they sometimes napped, and then opened her doll cradle just in case. Dwayne even pulled open a kitchen cupboard, though I'll never know how he thought a kitten could manage that. I called into the quiet, "Here, kitty kitty," listening hard for a faint mew. Nothing. The house echoed only with the kids' footsteps and their muffled shouts of "Not here!" I pushed the couch away from the wall and leaned down to peer into the shadowed gap. All of a sudden, I caught a flicker of movement high above me, out of the corner of my eye. I straightened and looked forward the Christmas tree. Something shifted near the top, just enough to make the tinsel quiver. And then, peeking out between the branches, a tiny orange face appeared. Bright blue eyes stared back at me, curious and calm, as if to wonder what all the fuss was about. "There you are," I whispered in relief. The children came running as I pointed. Look! Look at that little rascal. He is hopped up in the top of that tree." Gasp and laughter filled the air. "How did he get up there?" Holly cried. Dwayne clapped his hands. "He's an ornament." And he truly looked like it, and nestled between the glittering glass bulbs, his fur almost the same shade as the golden ribbon looped around the branches. From a distance, you might have thought he belonged up there. Carefully, I parted the branches and slid my hand under his warm little body. He didn't fight or fuss. He only purred, rumbling deep and steady, as though he had simply found himself a new bed among the lights. I brought him down to the kids, who even reached out to stroke his back. "Thanks for giving me quite the scare," I told him softly. "Now let's keep you out of that tree." The kitten blinked, perfectly content, unaware of the panic he had caused. We settled him back beside his brothers and sisters at the vent, and Mama Cat licked his ears as his welcome back. The kids kept talking over one another, replaying every moment of the search, laughing harder each time someone said ornament. That Christmas, the tree held its usual decorations, but none of them stood out as much as the little orange face peeking through the branches. For years afterward, whenever we unpacked the boxes of ornaments, someone would laugh and say, "We don't have that kitten ornament like we had last year." And we would always laugh because it was the best ornament of the year, and it didn't come from a store. It purred. Merry Christmas from the Paawz house. See you tomorrow.